Does your kid have any issues when it comes to school? Do you find yourself being very, very frustrated when it comes to how your kid is dealing with school or how school is something that could be a really taboo topic at home? If this is something that resonates with you, please watch the next short video. Then maybe we can help you get to a place where you can like your kids as much as you love them, especially when it comes to school. Hello, everyone. I am your host, Chananya Abraham. This is Parenting is Easy, said no one ever. And today we're going to be talking about a topic regarding dealing with stressful situations around school and what is our role as parents when it comes to the education of our kids. Because there are so many different issues that could come about, from kids forgetting things at home, kids forgetting things at school, how they are able to have a healthy mindset when it comes to school. There are so many different things that are really, really important when it comes to this topic. So we're going to break it down into a few different main categories when it comes to dealing with and having a emotional and mental healthy place when it comes to dealing with school-based situations. Today, we're going to be focusing on specifically when kids struggle at school, whether it's with academics, social pressure, or just getting through the day. We're going to dive into some practical little strategies that are going to help us deal with the emotional and the mental state of our kids. So, rule number one, fostering connection and understanding. First off, let's understand one of the golden rules. Love your child unconditionally. When your child feels emotionally safe, they're going to be so much more likely to open up about what's bothering them. And trust me, half the battle is getting them to actually communicate with us. So instead of jumping straight to, why didn't you study for your math tests? Try, what's the hardest part about math for you? And when they say all of it, don't just freak out. Say, okay, so let's figure it out together. It's not about solving the problem right away. It's about being the person that they can vent to without judgment. Being able to have a situation where they feel comfortable, they feel safe, that is so important. And hey, if you have ever struggled with a similar subject, share your story. A little humor when it comes to how we're going to relate to our kids can go a very long way. Like, say something like, when I was your age, I thought algebra was something that was like a new dance move or something. So be relatable. Create an environment at home that the kids want to be able to talk to you. Like we've talked about here many, many times, create an environment where it's, I can't wait to tell my parents, instead of, ooh, my parents can't find out about this. So that's rule number one, creating an emotionally healthy place for our kids. Rule number two, nurture the individual person and their soul and who they are about. Every child has their own unique talents and the way they see the world. And if your child isn't thriving in a traditional setting, maybe it's because they're meant to color a little bit outside the lines, literally and figuratively. So when there might be a situation that could be a little more tense, try to light them up. If they're into art, use it to explain other subjects. Math can be geometry. History can be all about different timelines. Let's be honest, when we talk about the French Revolution in a way where it's a little more fun, it's more engaging and it's something that we want to be a part of. So remember, certain situations are going to call for you to be a little more creative with them. Do that at home. Create a place where that topic is something that they want to be a part of. Remember, it is okay to seek outside help. Asking for help teaches our kids to ask for help. It could be a tutor. It could be a coach. Honestly, it could even be a YouTube video. Just make sure that when they see their struggles as a stepping stone and not as a roadblock, that will be very, very important. Take it in small steps. One step at a time is so important. Let's worry about passing this week's spelling test before we start worrying about SATs. So that is really, really important to remember. So now we have rule number three, building strong values and a healthy mindset. So let's talk about values for a second. Teaching kids perseverance and purpose is one of the greatest gifts and challenges that we can have as a parent. Challenges in school are not necessarily failures. They're opportunities to learn from and to grow. For example, when a child might say to you, I'm terrible at this, don't respond with, oh yeah, I agree. Say, no, you're not terrible. You're learning, and learning takes time. And then share some sort of story that happened with you or maybe someone famous that they might be aware of in their world. By the way, it has to be their world that they could relate to. It doesn't have to be the Albert Einsteins. It could be a character that they're familiar with. It could be some local pop star that they might be familiar with and no one else knows about. Be relatable to them so that they can understand and be and relate to that story specifically, that they can understand the concept of it's growing. And even through these mistakes, we're learning to be better. It could even be personal, where you weren't able to figure out how to use a computer, how to actually use it and make a spreadsheet or the next presentation and how you were able to put together the slides. Create rituals that create and celebrate effort. So it could be a very simple, hey, you started your project, you know what you're doing. Awesome. What can I prepare for you as a snack as you take a small break over here? Exploit those little opportunities, those little things that and challenges that they've overcome because they sat down. They know the book they're going to be copying and they're going to be writing a book report from. They know exactly what they need to do and how to actually put together and structure a entire book report. Use what you have in front of you and exploit the goodness in everything that's happening. You can even have situations where every night at dinner, someone shares something that they learned that day, that they were able to learn and grow from, and something that they consider an accomplishment. It could really be something that has nothing to do with school, but like, oh, I learned that there's a new way to put on a jacket. And if you ever see a little kid like putting their jacket on the floor and then flipping over their head, that's a big deal. When we bring in humor and very relatable situations and we make learning fun, it's a lifetime adventure of being able to learn and grow. And it's not necessarily about the grades, it's about being able to use this situation in the best way possible. So that's rule number 3, building strong values and a healthy mindset. Rule number 4, strengthen community and responsibility. When we talk about this concept of community, it's so important to know that raising our children within a network of support is so important. If your child is struggling, don't do it alone. Build a team, whether it's teachers, school counselors, therapists, principals, neighbors, friends, any even other parents that might be going through something. Involve your child in the solutions as well. Don't make them, oh, we have a solution for you, but let's come up with a solution together. Let's say they're disorganized. Let them set up a homework station. And if they maybe feel overwhelmed, help them break down tasks into small little bite-sized steps. A mentor of mine would say it as in like, take on the biggest monster that you are able to handle. Meaning what? Let's start with finishing today's worksheet. Don't worry about anything else. But also at the same time, give them opportunities to shine outside of school because life is not about school. Join a sports team, have a coding club or a community project, selling lemonade. Help your child find success elsewhere. Build confidence. That will help build a confidence in their schoolwork. So, in conclusion, emotional connection, nurturing individuality, building values, and relating or creating community is so important when it comes to having a healthy, good situation within our kids and how they're dealing with school. Helping a child at and with school challenges isn't about fixing them. It's about walking alongside them and showing them that they are not alone. Now, hey, if all else fails, keep the humor alive. I like to think of it as that school may be tough, but at least you don't have to sit through a 4-hour parenting teacher conference. If you liked this video, or if you have ideas for other videos, please like and subscribe below. Also, you can email us at parentingiseasypodcast@gmail.com. I have coaching and parenting courses and also links to where we can talk more if you want to have a opportunity to speak more in person. I am your host, Chananya Abraham. We look forward to hearing from you soon.